Live from Loudmouth Central, you're listening to Loudmouth Fisticuffs. Hosted by combat sports analyst Joshua Furs and international ring announcer Mr. Live Worldwide Jeff Houston. Half sports show, half comedy show, and half conspiracy show. 100% in your face. So open your ears, shut your mouth, and have a good fucking time.
Here we are. We're back. We're back in your lives. We're back in your hearts. We're back in your souls. We're here. Mr. Jeff Houston. I am Joshua Furs. And you're watching Loudmouth Fisticuffs. And this is episode 36. And we've been out of your lives for a few weeks. But we're back. I missed you. Jeff missed you. And what'd you say, Jeff? We're going to give you some of that creamy goodness. I don't know what that means, but
if anybody knows about creamy goodness, especially over someone's face, I would definitely think that you would be the catalyst for that, good sir.
Just say you missed me, Jeff. Just say it.
That's a tough one, dude.
Say it, Jeff.
Yeah. You know, slaughtering all those men has left a really nasty cramp in my legs, so kneeling will be hard for me.
Didn't you tell me you did like a voice for that, right? Didn't you do the voice or something for what was it you did?
Oh, yeah, the Xerxes.
Didn't you do that?
Yeah, it was a spin-off of 300, and I did a couple of Xerxes voiceovers or something. Yeah. It was some time ago, but I'm not a performing monkey, so I'm just here to welcome everybody back into our lives, the fucked up lives that comprise Loudmouth Fisticuffs episode number 36. As you can see, you know, I just had my 43rd birthday last week, and I think I found myself. You know, I'm wearing prison issue PJs and I've got my Coke bottle glasses on. It's weird. It's, you know, it takes a certain age to really find yourself. And I really think that I have right now. I'm feeling super sexy about myself. I mean, I'm really fucking hot. And don't worry, Mr. Maxwell, I'm not trying to rip off the red rims. I mean, I got my own glasses, but you know, you got yours. And hey, Mike, see, people were clamoring. They were foaming at the mouth, possibly even foaming at the crotch to see.
First off, I don't think you should be talking about foaming at under any orifice, out of any orifice. I want to ask, is this like your Superman outfit or something? You got the combed over, parted down the side there, and the Clark Kent glasses. Like, have you gone soft since you've been gone last few weeks? What's going on, man?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah, go ahead and bring your mom around. I'll show you if I've gone soft. Yeah.
You're awful.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be. I mean, that's what Scott Burt paid me for at one point, but that ship has sailed into the undying lands. So
that's what I heard.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's just, you know, kind of like a see ya and I wouldn't want to be you. But it's all good. It's okay. I'm not down, Mike. I've found myself. Okay. I don't need you to tell me that I sound depressed. I don't need anybody to tell me that I sound depressed. Okay. Okay.
No, you don't sound depressed at all. You sound normal.
Listen to me. Okay. I'm a razor blade away from ending this podcast. So come on.
Well, that's impossible because I have the power button, Jeff Houston.
Yeah, but I have the leave studio button, and that's half of what's going on.
Maybe a little less than half. Guys, we're having a little fun, but like I said, thank you so much for not forgetting us. I mean, how could you? But we appreciate you for tuning in tonight. And you know, there's a lot to cover. Oh man, Jesus Christ, Jeff. Have you showered since Biloxi? I mean, Jesus.
Oh, are you kidding? Dude, I've got the snoot. 1812 body wash. And no, it was not
God.
founded. It was not created in 1812, but the ladies certainly like to smell as I swagger on by with my new 1812 body wash. It smells like sweet tobacco. It's actually quite nice. It's very masculine because I'm not the most masculine guy. If you actually looked, I'm kind of a talker, kind of a joker. I've got hairs on my chest. I mean, they're sporadic, but at least I know that they're there. So with that awesome body wash, it makes it that much better, man.
When you say ladies, do you really mean lady boys, or
why is that your first go-to? Because because that is your go-to. I get it. You don't think that I don't know your plans, man. You were going to be the prince or maybe the princess of Phuket at one point. So don't even give me any crap, man.
Well,
seriously, man, those lady boys are going to have you grabbing your ankles.
I'll tell you what, we had a pretty fucking good card this past weekend at in Biloxi. Speaking of Biloxi and BKFC 15, there was a couple hiccups. Godbeer and Shoemaker. Godbeer got COVID, got sick.
That's a little bit more than it. That's a little more than a hiccup. That's an
sure. But I'm trying to downplay it a little bit, But the important part is Bobo stepped up big time. Bobo stepped up big time. He stepped right into that main event spot against Sam Shoemaker, and wow, I mean, he had that. He displayed the heart that I think we all knew he had. He wanted to keep getting back up, but Sam showed us I guess you can call it the Sam of old, if you will. We haven't seen him really that. We haven't seen him that ferocious and pressing forward like that since the Eric Prindle fight
in quite some time, and it was refreshing to see the Hillbilly Hammer finally drop the hammer, because as we said before, we've said this before, and I'm sure that you remember the impossible standards that Sam had to live up to as a result of BKFC 1. Yep. Everybody was expecting a one-punch machine gun. We all know that he is, but unfortunately in his previous fights, Sam just never pulled the trigger. It was nice to see him pull the trigger and kind of redo his game, because we hadn't seen a Sam Shoemaker fight like a typical bare knuckler, like pushing the pace, getting in your face. And it was refreshing to see Sam Shoemaker finally get out there, get his hands dirty, and get a decisive knockout victory. I was very happy. And I don't think Bobo was over his head. I just think that was Sam's night. Speaking of heavyweights, unfortunately for our good buddy, Mr. Golden Gloves, it certainly was not to be his night when he stepped up to what I consider to be a bare knuckle, just this guy is, he's a jackhammer, man. I mean, he's the human equivalent of a fucking jackhammer. He's there to crack sidewalk. That's what Josh Burns is all about. And there was a lot of shit talking back and forth, and Josh just shut that down. He shut it down, and I don't think that this is a situation to where Chris needs to go back to the drawing board. I think it's just a lesson. In bare knuckle, and it's a lesson that I think he's going to absorb better than most, and I think he's going to come back stronger. Now, whether or not he needs to continue his route in the heavyweight division, I don't know. We're going to have to see who they match him up against next to see if he is going to continue in the heavyweight division. As you know, and Josh, now I can finally say this because we finally put that all to rest. Only the women's division and the heavyweight division are the ones that actually call divisions now. We now go by weights, as I announced this last fight. So we call it a bare knuckle weight of, and whatever the weight is, because it's just getting too confusing. Well, it is easier, and obviously a women's division at 100 so on pounds, and the heavyweight division, those go without saying. But everything else, we're just going to go ahead and say the weight. It just makes so much more sense
to do.
But I'm proud of Josh. And, Josh had star power. Had star power in his corner with the first ever UFC champion in history, Mark Coleman, the Hammer, man. 2 hammers. What happens when you have 2 hammers in the corner? They're going to look at your opponent as like a 10-penny nail or an 8-penny nail.
The godfather of ground and pound, man.
Yes. The man who set the tone for any other UFC fighter that ever utilized ground and pounding.
You know what? I enjoyed, them kind of getting him on the mic a little bit, like backstage and talking. And I enjoyed Shaq getting on commentary. I enjoyed the nice little.
Wasn't that nice?
It was nice to have those little changes.
Awesome. It was so awesome to have Shaq Fu join us, man. What a cool cat, man. You never realize, he's literally one of the largest centers to ever play the game. And you really don't know 7'1", 330 pounds plus until it's shaking your hand. So it really was something. And you got to remember, he's got a broadcasting background. So when he jumped on with Sean and Chris Lytle, man, it was like a water. Like a duck to water. It's like a duck to water, man.
Whatever. Duck to water.
Hey. Ducks are better. You know why? Because ducks can stay on the top and they can go under bitches.
Oh, my God.
Better. So they're better.
No, but it was great, man. It was a good time. And arguably, too, hell, if you had to make a top 5 most popular basketball player ever, he's got to be in there.
Oh, he's the most dominant center to ever play the game, bar none.
Just not even from, even if you took away the the accolades part of it, just popularity wise, there's a handful of guys that just, even if you don't watch basketball,
there hasn't been
Jordan, Barkley, Shaq, there's a handful of guys that just,
hasn't been an entertainment forum that he hasn't been a part of. There's not. And not only that, he's a cop on top of that.
Yeah.
He's a cop. He's a rapper. He's been in movies. He's fought. He's been in WrestleMania. The guy has literally done it all. You can go across the board with Shaq, and that's why I'm so stoked that he believes that this is the future of combat sports, because with a thumbs up from the Shaq attack, man, that's pretty fucking cool. That's really fucking cool. And we had a lot of people join the commentary table, more than most this time around. But the one who really impressed me was Britton Hart. When Britton jumped on with Jenny Savage and Sheena Starr fight, I was really impressed how quick she was, how quick-witted she was. There weren't too many there weren't too many breaks in her sentencing, and you could really tell that she's super pumped about the opportunity. They're still trying to figure out, I guess, in the end, who Paige Van Zandt is, but the front runner, in my opinion, definitely has to be Britton Hart, because, it was the right time, the right place to make a badass call out. She did. It made impact. Why not go with it?
No, I agree. I think Britton is. I think she's going to be the fight. She's going to be the fight for Paige. I don't necessarily agree with it in the sense of I don't think Paige should fight like a veteran bare knuckler right out the gate, but it is what it is now. When they were in Miami and they had to call out and talking a little smack and getting each other's faces. It's just, what are you doing, man? The hell are you doing?
Don't worry about what I do, sir. I am here to entertain the masses, and
I'm scared today, Jeff.
No, I'm here. I'm
scared.
Listen to me,
because you got the Clark Clint glasses. You're talking about creaming on orifices, and then you're rubbing your chin over the microphone. I don't know what the hell. What have you been doing this last 3 weeks that you're acting like this? What is happening?
I am here to entertain the masses, and you are acting like all the asses. So just chill, bro.
You know what? No matter how many rhymes that you learned over the last 3 weeks, it doesn't change anything, Jeff.
It changes everything, because my vernacular is superior to yours, but that's okay.
You might have a better memory than me. There's a difference. It's like the difference between smart people and people who have a good memory. You know what I'm saying?
people that go get yourself a driver's license.
Because you got the people who can remember a lot of things and they maybe come off as smart, but it doesn't actually mean that they're, they have zero mechanical skills.
I don't have zero mechanical skills. I know how to disassemble my toilet. Thank you very much.
Jesus.
Well, hey, if there's anything that you're going to learn to fix, why not the porcelain goddess? I mean, come on, you shit in her, so come on.
Oh, that is true. That is
seriously.
true.
If there's any one thing that you should learn how to fix, if there's any woman,
is my camera jacked up to you? Does it look jacked up?
I see the black maw of hell behind you.
No, but like, does it look like it's like skipping? Do I look smooth or?
Well, you never look smooth, but as far as
Jesus.
As far as the rates per second or whatever you want to call it, sure, yeah, you look, you still look horrible, but you look, you don't look smooth. I don't have a word for that anything. So let's just say that you look acceptable.
I guess coming from you, that's high praise.
Fucking A, right? Fucking A, right? But there was a nice little back and forth that we got, and I believe it was during the Kane Tomlinson and Brad Kelly fight. We had a little bit
in the clinch.
We had a nice little hockey brawl in the clinch. John, even though the sound of it may sound quite atrocious, super vocabulary. Wow, that's a tough one. You got me beat there, man. I mean, but John is quite the linguist himself, so therefore I can certainly understand him stumping even some of the better ones. So hats off to you, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. But yeah, nice little hockey brawl right there. But it looked like in the end that, Brad had a little bit more wind in his sails than Mr. Kane Tomlinson Sr. But Kane is still a great bare knuckle representative. And I think we're going to see a lot more of him. He got the opportunity to fight for BKFC. He's fought for Toe the Line Fight Series. He's another one who really appreciates the art of the sport.
Him and his son, Zion, too.
Yeah, Zion.
He already made a splash with Toe the Line.
He sure did.
And I believe, I don't think it's spoiled anything, I believe he's fighting early next year. I don't know when, but
I'm sure he is. And how about the hero? I Am a Real American coming out to friggin' Hulk Hogan, circa 1980 WWE walkout music, Mr. Quentin Henry. Man, everybody marked. Even my good friend, Mr. Sean Wheelock, got on the mic and said, Jeff's such the mark.
Do you know what he should have did? I need to talk to Quentin. He should have done a rip. Yeah, when he got down to the bottom of the ramp, he should have did the thing, and then before when they dab him up with Vaseline before he got in the ring, he should have did the you.
Oh, dude, that would have been amazing. And something, honestly, he could have totally pulled that off because he looked jacked, man.
Yeah.
Quentin has been really hitting the weights, man. He has been dedicated to his new fitness regimen. Looks like a completely, totally different person. So, and 25 seconds into round number 1. I mean, Jesus.
Well, he was telling me when I talked to him, and I didn't know this, and I don't know how many people do know this, is that, 205, he said that's his natural weight. He's like, when he fought at heavyweight that first time, he would have been a small heavyweight. Yeah. Well, yeah. His first fight, he fought at heavyweight, but that was only because, as something like, I don't want to get the number wrong, but he got like tumors removed from his stomach, like 13, 14, like some kind of crazy number. He got removed from his stomach. Yeah. Which is why he had to fight at heavyweight for that fight. So 205, that is his natural, that's where he's best at. That's where he's most comfortable at. And it showed. It showed big time.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it definitely showed there. But another one that I want to talk about that I was that I was just really, really, digging on.
What the hell was that?
What the hell was
that?
What was
like rubbing your chin up against the all sensual. You're like, ooh.
People choose to see what they see. I can't be responsible for what you see. That you're an adult and you're responsible for your own
What does
shit.
everybody else see? Does everybody else see Jeff acting sensual with the microphone, or is that just me? Is Jeff getting a little sensual here?
I'm not sensual, man.
That's what I'm getting.
Like I said, I've just found myself, and I'm the Coke bottle glasses guy. Yeah.
You're the Coke bottle glasses guy?
I mean, look at these things. These things could pick up AM, FM, pick up cable TV if I rig myself up a couple of ghetto antenna with some tinfoil. Fuck
Are they
yeah.
are they like real prescription glasses, or are they just like a prop?
Why would I say that on air? Why would I say it if they were true or if they were fake?
You don't want to break kayfabe, huh? Okay, I get it.
You and your third fucking wall. What's wrong with you, man? Thank God you're not anywhere the fourth wall. But the one that I
anywhere near your fourth wall.
Testing the SM7B. That's right, John. That's right. You know something? We're doing pressure testing. We're getting up close and personal. Anybody else wants to think, anything sexual or whatever the fuck you want to think of, man, get your mind out of this.
I said sensual. I said
sensual, sexual. It's still within the same spectrum. You know what? It's called up close and personal here on Loudmouth Fisticuffs. So that's what we're going to do. But what I wanted to talk about before I was so, not rudely interrupted, but, just interrupted, was I know that Mr. Tyler Goodjohn and all of us were so anticipating his debut with BKFC. And he was the first to say after his performance that he was somewhat disappointed. He didn't want to, he wanted to, I guess, unleash a little bit more hell than he did. But something, I think what we did see is we saw a bare knuckler with very unique head movement, that we haven't seen before. And a lot of people don't necessarily see the bigger picture. Plus, also, you have to figure the trials and the tribulations. And I know that the last thing any fighter will ever do is, lean on excuses. I mean, some of them do, some of them don't, but I know that Tyler's not the one to do that. But you have to remember what this guy's been through. This guy, when he first got the fight for BKFC, he actually had a broken jaw. He had a fucking broken jaw. It took him forever to get over here from the UK. He had to quarantine in Dubai for 2 weeks. I mean, trust me, he felt right at home there, man. I mean, that's swag central, and he certainly loved that. Plus also, making the transition over to, training here in the States, which he did with our awesome bare knuckle fighting extraordinaire, Christine Faria. He'd been training with her, and Christine had been taking really good care of him. And I wanted to say, Christine, from Mr. Live Worldwide, thank you so much for
smart, but it doesn't actually mean.
All right. You're getting repeat. You're getting repeat.
No. I'm just checking out the stream. We're good. I just wanted to make sure how.
But anyway, I just wanted to say thank you, Christine. We appreciate what you did so much for taking Tyler under your wing, taking good care of him while he's here in the States and such. But we also saw a little bit more this time from Mr. Felony, Charles Bennett, man. He definitely looked better in this fight than he had in previous bare knuckle fights. So, there are some people who would have, not necessarily put that fight under the bus, but said it was, lackluster. I enjoyed it just fine because we saw the battle of the characters, number one, which in sports is essential. You need to have the battle of characters. And I just think that we're going to see something even better from Charles the next out. And we're definitely going to see something better from Tyler Goodjohn.
Well, Felony, he talked about too, which you could watch, slide on over to Combat Insiders. I just put up an interview with him that we did last night. Anyway, point is, he talked about how, he never trains. He's like, dude, I never trained for shit. He's like, this fight was the first bare knuckle fight that I trained for. He's like, and it was only like 3 weeks. He's like, and really, he's like, if it wasn't for my cardio, oh, Jesus. If it wasn't for my cardio, he's like, that's the only thing I really worry about. He's like, I'm not worried about my boxing. I'm worried about my cardio.
Didn't look like anybody was breathing too hard on that one.
No.
Everybody was doing pretty good. I mean, Charles did get some shots in there. There were some baby gashes on, but it's not that often that you see a bare knuckler, who got cut and absolutely paid no mind whatsoever. I mean, to Tyler, a gash on his face is just another day in the office. And he was just fine. He was just fine with that. I mean, he had this combination of Tiger Life energy, and what was he drinking while he was in the ring?
Oh, it's the same stuff Bret Hart was drinking too.
Yeah, they both were drinking that. That's right.
It's like I don't know, like a fucking wine, beer, carbonated thing. Champion something. I don't fucking know.
Okay, so basically the next generation of White Claw.
I mean, it looked kind of fruity. Like it looked like a fruity beverage.
Why that doesn't? Nah. If you're gonna do anything, bust out the bourbon afterwards. Do a
cider.
Little cider bourbon.
It's a cider. It's an alcoholic cider.
How do you know?
I just got word. Don't you worry about it.
I just got word. Don't worry about it. Boy, aren't you quick?
Not as quick as you. It's what I heard.
Oh my God, he came alive now. Go ahead and shove some of that cider up your fucking ass and let's get this going.
You have a potty mouth, sir. G-rated.
No, it's not.
Calm down.
No, it's not. 100% in your face. And Dakota Cochran. Let's go ahead and talk about that, man. Tyler.
Oh my God.
I think Tyler Vogel is going to be like a gatekeeper in bare knuckle. For those who are looking to move up to the next level, they're going to have to kind of get by Tyler Vogel in that weight class. And Dakota Cochran, one of the most unassuming bare knuckle fighters I've ever met in my life, but the guy is tougher than fucking shoe leather.
He's like the nicest guy.
Oh, dude. He's a ridiculous down to earth, but his build is one of the most unique that I've ever seen for someone at his weight. But he gets in there and he's just dude, it's like a fucking rock.
He's like that. He's got that country strong shit.
Dude.
He's just country strong.
He is a guy who definitely does not know his own strength. Absolutely not. Not even fucking close. So, props to him. Unfortunately, it was a doctor stoppage. We did have 2 doctor stoppages, but we also it was nice because we had 9 finishes.
Yeah.
We had 9 finishes and 1 that went the distance, of course, with Tyler Goodjohn and such. And I pretty much knew that was going to be a unanimous decision. I paid attention to the fight. I saw what was happening in that. Tyler did have Charles beat on points. He did have him beat on points, but good to see that back. And also our fellow police officer, the Clark Kent of bare knuckles, Harris Stevenson, back on the winning train, going up against somebody who's been with us since the beginning, friggin' Drew Spider Monkey Lipton. Drew's been with us since the beginning. Yeah, he's another guy. And you know what? Win, lose, or draw, Drew still gets in there and gives it his all. And gives it all. And I take my hat off to him if I had one. That I usually have my Kangol hat, but that's just not me today. Maybe next week I'll have the Kangol hat, or maybe I'll have a different pair of glasses, and who knows? I might show up naked to the next one. I don't know. I just know that for this week, this is who I am. Yeah.
I don't even know what that means, Jeff.
Yeah. That's what it means.
You kind of remind me of like a human Eeyore. That's what you look like right now.
Well, bother to you.
That's not what he says. What the hell? The hell was that?
That's whatever I want it to be. America's a free country, and so am I.
You're making love to your Shure microphone, man.
I am not. I'm resting on it. You're putting me to sleep. If anything's going on with this microphone,
you're the one that's been talking. What are you talking about?
All you have to do is say one or two words, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sleepy.
Jesus Christ. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry about this. It seems as if our my companion over here, my partner, Mr. Live Worldwide.
You're no partner to me.
Oh my God.
I don't understand why you just can't embrace the different. Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean you have to knock it. But of course you're going to go ahead and knock my whatever the hell this is.
Making love to a microphone? Yes, I will knock it.
No, I'm not making love. I'm tired. I'm a tired man.
What'd you do today, Jeff? Let's talk about your day. Let's break it down. Let's break it down.
I just told you. If you don't want to listen, I don't know what to tell you.
If you have to ask.
No, I mean, it's not that you don't have to. You get to, or you want to, or whatever you'd. And I am not. Fuck you. I'm not fucking Eeyore. I'm not depressed. I am just here. I am. I'm midichlorians, sitting here dancing around for your entertainment. I am, I must, I be, I choose, I am.
I like you, Jeff.
Okay, then. All right. But it was a fun, but nonetheless fun. We had first time over there at the Biloxi Civic Center. Weather held up very nicely. Had some good vittles while I was there too. You always eat well in Mississippi, but it's always good to go to a couple of good real southern locations. And there was this one place I went to. It was called McElroy's on the Bayou, and had ourselves a traditional Mississippi breakfast out back, right, literally on the bayou with fan boats going by. It's pretty fucking cool.
That does sound cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Had my traditional sushi, because what else did I have? Oh yeah, we went to the Half Shell Oyster House and we had cold water lobster tails. Those were fucking good. Those were fucking good. And then of course the lunch before, I always try to find a good sushi place, and fortunately the best sushi place was right next to the Half Shell Oyster House where we ate the previous night. So had a couple of good. We were there with Scott Burt, and Scott does not like sushi.
Really?
Scott, you have to remember, Scott lives in BFE, Belfast, New York. You got to remember, there's not even a traffic light in Belfast, so they're not exactly known for their sushi.
Is that true?
That's 100% true. There is not a stoplight in Belfast, not at all. So he's not. So when he hasn't, adventured outside the culinary spectrum too much, so he doesn't really. It's not that he doesn't like it; he just hasn't been too adventurous. So he went ahead and went with the bento box and had himself some hibachi style steak and lobster. Still pretty good though.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that personally. And we were over at the Palace Casino this time around. Very nice hotel. Very nice hotel. Much further down than we were. In fact, I honestly thought that the furthest down that you could get on Beach Boulevard is the IP casino, the IP resort where we stayed previously. But no, the Palace Casino is so much further down. So much more further down. When you get to there, you're actually not getting too far away from Ocean Springs, Mississippi, which is right over the bridge. Interesting stuff. But also want to send out a big congratulations to Mr. Dave Feldman Jr. and Julianne for the birth of their brand new son, Dante.
What's up, Joey?
That's awesome sauce for the Feldmans. And Papa Dave, he's a grandpa now, so congratulations to you as well. He was really excited about getting home after the show to meet his grandson for the first time. That just shows what a hustler he is. He could have cut out and spent time with his family, but you know how David Feldman is when it comes to BKFC. This is his baby. This is his creation. He's going to see it. He's going to see it through, and he's going to spend a wonderful holiday, getting to know his brand new grandson. That's awesome. Once again, big congratulations to the Feldman family for the newest edition.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Congratulations to them. I guess out of the ashes, I guess of BKFC 15, there's a lot of interesting developments, right? Because
Ashes? No. The smoke. Once the smoke has
stop it. All
There's
right,
no
so
fucking ashes because we didn't nothing burned down, bitch.
you burn the shit down. You burn the town down, right?
No.
So anyway, we talked. Godbeer, called out Josh Burns. That might be the next fight. Once Godbeer,
I want to see that. I want to
Yeah.
see that. We got two tanks. I'm not saying that Chris wasn't a tank, but Chris Chris was heavier than I had ever seen him before. Chris was at 245, and he still looks small compared to Josh.
He was still about 25, 30 pounds.
Because Josh was around 267, 268. I mean, Josh was huge. And that was Josh light. That's Josh Burns light.
Yeah.
Josh usually walks around closer to 300.
Yeah, he's a big boy, man. He's a fucking tank.
Oh, no, he is. And he's got, he's got a great sense of humor. He totally knows what being a bare knuckle fighter is all about. And and his support team came with him this time around. And how awesome is that to have Mark Coleman in your corner?
Let's see, 185-pound tournament. So I know officially there is no information yet, Joey, but
Not yet.
I know that I've heard the rumblings. It is going to be early next year. Well, I don't want to say that as if I know because I don't, but I have heard rumblings it's going to be early next year.
Yeah.
It might even start on the Super Bowl card. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Yeah, it is a stacked division. There's a lot of monsters at 185.
That's going to be interesting. Who they're going to put in the 8? Who's going to be the 8 representatives moving forward with that? Joey, I'm sure that you're definitely going to be a representative in the 185-pound division. And if for those of you who are wondering what's going on with the mic, what's going on with the glasses, stop wondering. It's called fucking entertainment and switching things up. You know me. And I don't have to explain it. In fact, I'm not going to fucking explain it. So just like the front of the show goes, close your mouth, open your ears, and have a good fucking time.
You just explained it by not explaining it.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know, whatever that means. But yeah, Joey, I'm excited, man. The 185-pound division, it's been building up. I mean, you got a lot of monsters. Keemon Evans is the up and comer, right? Uli Diaz just had the 3-second knockout.
Not Uli. Uli Diaz.
Excuse me, Uli Diaz.
Well, it's not Uli. His name is Ulysses, not Ulysses.
Well, yeah, I talked to Lorenzo Hunt. He says he'll be ready to drop down to 185. Thiago Alves, right? There's a lot of interesting names at 185.
Don't forget Julian Lane.
Yeah, I mean, his other fights were like at 165, but I thought he looked good.
I don't know if he would want to continue at 185. I mean, if he's going to chase gold, that's fine. He'll probably have no problem with that. But I'd like to see. I mean, I enjoyed him at 185 when he fought Thiago.
Yeah,
I enjoyed him. Yeah, it would be fun. Yeah, it would be. I agree. It would be fun. It absolutely would be fun. But and as we know, February 5th, Dat Win is back in the title picture as he is going to challenge Brutal Johnny Bedford for the 100 and is it 35 or 45? It's a 35-pound championship, right? 135?
35.
Yeah, the 135-pound championship. So, it's a shame that the number one contender fight never came back to fruition. I was hoping that they would run that back, but this is the way that they decided to go. So Dat is going to get that opportunity. And if whoever wins that fight, I absolutely believe that Reggie is next. Reggie should definitely be next to face the winner of that fight. Well, or at least face a winner who walks away with the gold of that fight.
Let me ask you this, and maybe you would know more than me, Jeff, is when it came to Johnny Bedford's injury, I know it was a back injury, right? But what I never heard was the extent of the injury, right? So If it was something, I don't know if it was just, are we talking about like a pulled muscle? Are we talking about a fucking slipped disc? Like, what are we talking about? Because is this going to be enough time? If it was something somewhat moderate, like a, moderate to serious injury, is him fighting on February 5th. That's not that far away. That's not a huge, that's not a whole lot of time, to get over this and train and come back. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know how, to the extent of the injury, of how serious it was.
Wildcat. Oh, what I was talking about when you were talking about something was I don't know what the extent of Johnny's injury is, and I don't know how long he is expected to be off the shelf, but obviously we know when he's coming back. So, and it wouldn't matter anyway, because that's going to be our first show back, even though that we have got some international happenings. They're going to be fully foreign staffed because, of course, of COVID situation. But we're looking at the Bare Knuckle Kingdom, which is going to be taking place early January, and that's going to be in Phuket, Thailand. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting to see. That's Bare Knuckle in association with, and that's going to be interesting. And then we've got our Toe the Line Fight Series is already getting international acclaim. They're going to be going to Manchester in January. I believe January 16th. I believe is when they're going to be going to Toe the Line Fight Series. And once again, those are not going to have our BKFC staff. Those are going to be, of course, international in association shows. So, but it's still going to be the BKFC name that's going to be behind it. So it's an interesting dip into getting the Bare Knuckle brand overseas. And I think it's most exciting, me personally, in Thailand, because I know Thailand is so ridiculously landlocked with Muay Thai. It's really refreshing to see kind of arms wide open with Bare Knuckle. Come on, we're going home to the Bare Knuckle is going to be coming to the birthplace of the clinch. The absolute birthplace to where the clinch is, and where the clinch is encouraged, as you know, in Muay Thai. Excessive force in the clinch is encouraged, as it is in Bare Knuckles. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see. I am acting like a little child, and I'm okay. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million toys at Toys R Us that I could play with. What? What?
Nothing.
Apparently so, because there is just this perplexed. I'm sorry, eyebrows don't just raise on their own. What's happening, Captain? Are you worried? Buddy. Are you worried about my mental state, my mental acuity, whether or not that I'm falling off the deep end here in my designer PJs and my Coke bottle glasses and my swoop? It's not even a hairstyle. I just ran my fingers through my fucking hair. Are you? You're wondering if I'm okay.
It doesn't look bad.
Of course it doesn't look bad. I'm a handsome man.
I honestly, it looks. I thought you actually put it together like that. It doesn't even look.
No. It's not even combed.
It kind of has that. I don't know if the word. It's a French word. Pas-et-toi. Is that the word I'm looking for? Maybe not.
That is absolutely not.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
You're saying je ne sais quoi.
No, not je ne sais quoi. That's not what I was going for.
That's exactly what it means. It has that je ne sais quoi.
Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
It doesn't look bad.
No, it's okay. Okay. But I also want to give a shout out to my final event of 2020 this Friday. I'm actually doing a show in Texas. I'm excited about that. I don't get to do many shows anymore in my home state, in the Lone Star State. There is going to be it's going to be a boxing event, and it's going to be taking place this Friday on Fight TV. It's called hold on one second. What is it called? I believe let's see. Here we go. Yeah, Battle of Rio Grande, and that's going to be in association with Zerto Promotions and El Tigre Promotions, and they're going to have, I believe, 11 fights, and I believe that the main event is for the NABF Light Heavyweight Championship, and my good buddy Mr. Sean Wheelock is going to be leading off on commentary for this, so it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I am excited. I am excited about that because, it's nice to finish off the year in my home state. It's not too far for me. It's about a 3.5-hour drive from where I live. So, it's not too bad, man. Not too bad at all. I was planning to actually finish out the year in Moscow with ACA, but unfortunately there were some booking issues. They had already kind of double booked Mr. Alexander Zagorski, who's been filling in for me for during COVID. I mean, I did get to go back. I don't know if we've done a show since then, but I did get to do an ACA show a little while ago in Poland. And that was really fun to come back to do ACA because they're just one of the best promotions in the world. They absolutely have everything together. And it was good to see a lot of my friends that I had not seen for 8 months. 8 months it had been since I had actually seen some of my coworkers for ACA. So fantastic to do that. But they've got back-to-back shows. They just had a show, I believe it was on the 13th, and now they're having one on the 18th. Same place, VTB Arena in Moscow, guys. Definitely big shout out to the MMA Commissioning Worldwide and also my road brother, Mr. Herb Dean. I hope you and Vika are having a wonderful time. They actually stayed the entire week so that they could do those back-to-back shows. So they're having a fantastic time up there in the frozen tundra that is Moscow. Guys, finish the year with a bang. I'm so sorry that I couldn't be there, but we'll be there next year. Lots of fun. Lots of fun. What about you, Josh? I mean, we haven't been talking to you. I mean, we have the occasional phone call to where I dominate the conversation. You may get a nugget or two of truths in there. So let's hand the microphone over to you where you sit behind that auspicious black maw of hell and tell me what's been going on in your neck of the woods for the past couple of weeks. I'm amazing, I know.
Well, over on combatinsiders.com, if you haven't noticed, we have kind of our own line of shirt apparel now. So if you go on there, use promo code COMBAT20, you'll actually get free shipping on that. And for any fighters that want any of the apparel, I got a special code just for you guys. And it basically cuts it down to just cost for you. So go check that out. The link, it's kind of it's on teespring.com, but if you type in like Fight Night Clothing, you can find it. There's links all over Facebook. It's all over the website. If you go to combatinsiders.com, I've been crazy at work, just coming up with different things, and hopefully we'll get that running. Kind of make a few bucks on the side. It all goes to support the website, supports travel. It basically goes right back into it. So it's not like get rich off of this stuff. It's just going right back into the pot. It's going right back into the pot, and helps us out. Helps us out every little bit. So
I seriously hope that you are not going to have any excuses not joining us for February 5th.
No. I'm like 95% going to be there for sure. So
you better make that 100% because that's going to be history in the making.
Oh,
Tampa,
for sure.
Florida, we're in the same zip code to where the Super Bowl will be taking place. We're running against Super Bowl weekend, which, was ballsy to say the least. But with our product, I think that we can run neck and neck with anything. I honestly
wonder if it'll be in the same venue, if it'll be at the fairground.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know where it's going to be. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. And as I said, I think that we could run neck and neck with anything, any major world title fight, any major UFC fight, because the fighting standard has been completely changed by taking off the gloves.
Well, it's not like you're competing with the Super Bowl itself.
We're not really competing with it. We're not really that. Here's the thing, people like to go ahead and say, if they're looking at it from a ratings perspective that, we have competition with something. we're a completely different mindset. I don't really think that we have competition with anything because we're so different. We have other bare knuckle events that are going on, but it's a second, third, or fourth banana if you're going to go ahead and talk apples to oranges, because you can't. We're head and shoulders above the rest. We're head and shoulders above the rest, and people know it. I mean, anytime, look at the situation that we're now. Anytime anything happens in bare knuckle, in the UFC, in Bellator, where there's a high profile, whether they decide to leave or whether they're let go, it doesn't matter what. The first thing that now comes to people's minds is this person going to go to bare knuckle? Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, just because
honestly, it's not even just bare knuckle. It's specifically BKFC.
BKFC, exactly. Yeah. So therefore, that is on the thoughts of fight fans when they see a high profile either quit or unfortunate firing. Yeah. They say, is this person going to BKFC? So there it is. I mean,
Romero was the most recent one. He's going to Bellator.
He's going to Bellator, but I think he could have done so much more with bare knuckle. I do personally, but you know what? More power to him if he decides to go after Bellator. Bellator, obviously, they've been around since 2007. They're number 2 when it comes to MMA. Bar none. So hey, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But I have a feeling that Yoel Romero will eventually separate the ropes and toe the line in BKFC before it's all said and done. I truly believe that.
Yeah, but fuck, what is he, like 54 or 45 or something?
No. Yoel Romero, no, he's
44, 44, 45.
No, he's not that old.
He's 40 something. Yes, he is.
Dude.
Yoel Romero's 40 something.
All right, he's my age, okay? He's 43.
Okay, all right. He's 44. I was close. I knew he was like almost mid 40s.
Well, you know what? If Mike Tyson can go ahead and still don it at 54, come on.
No. But he didn't.
Well, actually, yes, he did. He did just. No. Honestly, I think they did just fine. I just think, unfortunately, that they were absolutely castrated by a bullshit.
They only. No, dude, it was all a work. The only reason why Tyson looked good is because he was in there with Roy Jones.
Well, because Roy, yeah. But Roy, nobody, it is going to be what it is. But let me tell you something. That was one strange broadcast. I wasn't.
It was a work. I think I don't know if the co-main was, but I know the main was.
Well, I don't know. Now. The thing about it is that now Jake Paul's head is so far up his own ass that now he's calling out all of the elites saying that he could do that. I'm like, bitch, let me just tell you something. All right, fine. You've made some good money in the world of boxing and such, but now you're talking about making the transition over. And yes, is he a young guy? What is he about? 23, 24? Okay, he's a young guy. So he hasn't even hit his fucking prime yet. But you're talking about crossing over and, gloving up with the elite of the elite and thinking that you're going to have any kind of a puncher's chance, man. You're going to get your shit fucked up is what's going to happen. And it's going to happen badly.
I think he's running with it. I don't know what he's thinking, but
he's running with it. But the thing about it is, I think he's also he's trying to look like he's living within the means that Floyd is. Sitting in his Lamborghini, smoking his fucking Cubano in front of his big fucking house and everything like that. I'm like, dude, that's impressive, but you're still trying to. But you're trying to act like fucking Floyd's level. Floyd could buy and sell your ass.
You're talking about him right now.
The only reason that I am talking about him right now is because I want to see him get his ass kicked, which is what everybody wants to do as well. If you're
he's playing the heel part, he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Exactly.
He's a natural heel.
No, he is.
Him and his brother, him and Logan, they're natural fucking heels. I think people just want to see. People want to see their faces get punched in.
They will pay to watch them get their faces rearranged. Exactly.
I think he's
selling himself. Yes. And honestly, Matt, there's no one that can sell yourself better than you when it comes down to it. I don't care who you fucking hire. I don't care what kind of PR representatives you have. I don't care what kind of man.
The video came out today.
Yeah,
A video came out
yeah.
today where he threw trash at fucking
Yep.
what's that guy's name?
Oh, right.
Dylan Dennis.
Yeah.
He found Dylan Dennis and was like throwing trash at him.
He's staying relevant. Apparently in this day and age, all you have to do is do stupid shit, act the fool, and guess what? Boom. But that's been for some time right now. I'm still waiting for my moment, man. Maybe I'll just lose it in the ring one day, and then I'll go viral and everything like that. I don't know.
What could you possibly do? Like, what would you do? What do you mean?
I don't know. Go over and knock out the referee, and then knock myself out.
Like you'll be right in middle of the it's time to knuckle up and like
no
right,
I didn't say
right when
I
you're
didn't
about to say it, you'll be it's time to
I never said that I would do that. I never said that I would do that in
shit.
No, I never said I would do that in bare knuckles.
You chuck the microphone, like hits Lytle in the head. You run out the ring.
Oh no, I wouldn't fuck up Chris. I wouldn't fuck up Chris. Chris,
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this shit.
I'm never gonna do that. Come on, I'm too much of a professional to do that. I'm just fucking around right now. But when it comes, you know how it is when I get in the ring. When I get in the ring or the cage, I got tunnel vision, man. I would never do anything like that. Because the payoff isn't the same because I'm not a fucking athlete. See, the payoff is a little bit different when you're an athlete because athletes are selling tickets. Athletes are selling pay-per-views. Athletes are selling the subscriptions. Ring announcer doesn't sell shit. So if I do it, all that's going to happen is I'm going to get a little bit of love. In the end, I'm not going to get any work. I'm going to get fucking blacklisted. Why would I do something like that? There's no payoff for that because I don't make promotions money. No ring announcer does. I'm gonna tell you, Bruce doesn't make UFC money.
Stop it, Rama. Stop you right there. You stop.
Michael Buffer does not make promotions money. Dude, Matt,
leave Bruce alone.
Matt, we're not talking about him. We know he gets paid, but a lot of the production is there to put sparkle. Fuck you about your fucking man.
You stop it. You leave Bruce alone.
I don't have to stop shit. All right. So what I'm talking about,
you better stop it.
Oh, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, bitch? Huh? You gonna hit me? Go ahead. It's not the first time I've been. Yeah, I'm still on. I'm still on.
I forgot you can unmute yourself. That sucks.
I can. No.
They used to have it when they first did it. They used to have it to where the guests couldn't unmute themselves.
Yeah, and they saw you coming a mile away and said, "We're not going to let Josh have the fucking upper hand over Mr. Live Worldwide." Fuck that.
Oh no, I can't fuck with it.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Edit mic settings for Mr. Live Worldwide.
But no, the ring announcer is never supposed to really make the promotion money because nobody's there really to see you.
Yeah,
nobody's really to see there. There's an old saying that says the only person that should have paid to see the ring announcer is the ring announcer's mother. I mean, nobody's there. Nobody pays to see you, and if they do, then their priorities are really out of fucking whack.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
I understand what you're saying, but like.
So therefore, it's all about the personality. Now what Bruce does is Bruce brings something a little bit different because the reason why Bruce works is because of his personality and also what he has created as far as his brand outside of the octagon. So it makes him more of a celebrity rather than just a ring announcer.
Sure, right.
But you have to understand, the Buffers are the only ones in my profession who have broken that glass ceiling. Nobody else has. Even Jimmy Lennon Jr., who is an amazing person. He's been in a couple of movies, but he does not have the fame and notoriety that the Buffers do, or the bank account. Not even fucking, no. Michael Buffer, what it was, Matt, if we're going to really start getting into ring announcing 101, Michael Buffer was in the right place at the right time, and he was also the one who kind of set the standard for how ring announcers get paid these days. Because you have to remember, when Michael Buffer started with Bob Arum and Top Rank. Do you know that Michael Buffer was making $5,000 a show in 1982, 83? $5,000 a show to do these shows. And that's over 30 years. That's almost 4 years. That's almost 40 years from now. And so it only went up from there. Now, as far as him making $1 million a show, that is the biggest bunch of bullshit I've ever heard. Because as many shows as he's done, if he did that, dude, he'd be a billionaire by now. For all the shows that he's done by about now, he'd be a billionaire by now. So that's just bullshit. But
I don't know if I believe that. I probably believe a good six figure. He probably makes a good six figure.
No. I would probably say that a healthy 6, if not 7 figures a year. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And he makes more money off of his trademarking, as we all know. And of course, Bruce runs the trademarking on Ready to Rumble Enterprises and such. But what I'm saying is that these two have built a brand to where fame and wealth they have accumulated. And not too many announcers have done that. I would say Jimmy Lennon is probably very, very well off because he comes from announcing royalty. But does he have the greenbacks like the Buffers do? Nobody does.
You know what? I mean, I'm not saying Jimmy Lennon's bad. It's just he's never been my cup of tea. I mean, I'm not like downing him. I'm just
no. He's always been there for anything.
He's always been there. He's
for just anything major in boxing. He has been there for anything major in boxing. He has been there.
Didn't he do Impact for a little bit? Didn't he?
He did that. He did Showtime Elite XC because that was Showtime, of course. So.
I have a question.
He's another one. He's another one of us that have done it all. I mean, he's. I'm part of a very elite fraternity of announcers that have kind of done it all when it comes to combat sports. We've crossed over. We've done that, and we've been successful at all of our crossovers. I mean, I never got to WWE, but I was fortunate enough to have done a good amount of televised events. So, that's like I said, it's a very exclusive fraternity that the few of us belong to.
I have a question for you. What is the best IPA you've ever had?
Oh, I had it actually just this last week. Just this last week. Why are you smiling? And where did that come from? Oh my God, are you talking to Howie? Oh my God, you're talking to Howie.
Yeah, I'm talking to Howie.
I kind of figured you'd be talking to Howie because
he's in Facebook jail. He can't comment on the show.
Okay.
So.
No. We actually had the best one that I've ever had, and I'll be the first one to say Howie introduced me to it when we were in Oxford, and it's called Ghost in the Machine IPA. And I fucking loved it. Chris Lytle loved it too. We had it the night before the show. We were having it, and it was really good. It was really good. It's definitely one of my favorites now.
What's it taste like?
It's weird. It's kind of like a Hefeweizen, but it's got a little bit of like a grapefruity taste to it.
So it's kind of bitter?
No, not at all. It's actually less bitter than your traditional IPA. It's a little sweeter.
Really?
I mean, there's still that IPA bite because we're talking about excessive hops.
Right.
There are more, the hops process is definitely more when it comes to in the brewing process. There's more hops in the brewing process. So that happens with all the India Pale Ales. But this one was very nice. It had a nice start and a nice finish. Because I don't mind IPAs, but IPAs have shitty finishes. Leave nasty aftertaste in your mouth.
I'm not a big fan of hoppy beer. But
this one was really good. This one actually had a nice start and a nice finish. Even nice legs. But I didn't know that an IPA could have legs. But it did.
You have nice legs, Jeff.
Okay, fag.
First off, you can't say that.
I can say whatever I want.
Secondly, be nice.
I am nice. This is me being nice. Okay?
Jeff can't accept a compliment or joke.
So anyway, getting back to the wonderful deliciousness of that IPA, I highly recommend it to anybody out there. Ghost in the Machine IPA. Yummy, yummy, yummy IPA. Maybe hoppy, but something that gets the job done. I liked it.
Let's hear about creaming on orifices again, Jeff. Let's hear about that story.
You just can't let things go. Somebody makes any kind of like the minute joke, and that's on your mind. So if creaming orifices is on your mind, you're the last person I want to talk to that about.
Well, we're here. Technically, I'm the first.
I'm going to tell you something, man. You keep going the way you're going, and you're going to have to go door to door saying I'm a sexual offender, and you're going to have a nice little ankle bracelet. So you better watch it.
I don't think you can get a sexual offense charge for talking about orifices on a podcast.
I'll make it happen. Okay, we'll get some Scott Burt money into some legal affairs, and we'll see about getting that done. I can
Speaking
claim
of the Scott Burt money, where is he? Where is Scott?
Where do you think he is? He's back home. Back home in Belfast.
Now, we need to get some stuff straight because I haven't seen a payment in like 2 months.
I know. He basically told you to fuck off. And I don't understand why you can't accept that.
Well, it's not helping my pockets any.
No. And it's not helping you at your freaking Chateau Lamac runs either. I'm going to tell you, man, seriously.
And look.
The people at your local drive-thru know you by first name now, bitch. God.
Listen, Jeff. I had to sell all my shit. I'm in an empty room now. It's not funny. I had to sell all my shit.
Your misfortune makes me laugh.
It's not funny, Jeff.
It's quite amusing, sir.
It's not. Look. I'm not even wearing Combat Insiders. I had to sell out for this. Steve Rothman, I said, hey man, how
don't fuck around with Steve. Steve's good people.
I said, Steve, how can I make a quick buck? He's like, dude, I'll pay you to wear my shirt on air. So I did it.
I thought I saw some white splatter actually at the top of that shirt. So now we know what the fighting news for Josh is all about. The news is that apparently they can't reach the back of his throat.
I don't know what that means, but I did make a quick $100 on wearing the fighting news shirt.
I bet you did. On your knees. On your knees.
Your glasses are crooked, by the way. Fix it.
They're not
driving. It's driving me nuts.
They're perfect. They're perfect.
It looks like you're. Well, I don't know about that. It looks like you're trying to pull off the felony thing, but it's like.
No, not even close. See, straight across. I could put a freaking level right there, and I get center bubble, baby.
Center bubble.
Center motherfucking bubble.
You wouldn't know what a center bubble looks like.
Apparently, you wouldn't either, man.
I know what a level looks like. I know what center bubble is.
Well, obviously, I know what it is because I just said it, bitch. God, do we really have to go through this? Let's get back.
You have a good memory, Jeff. You have a good memory.
I know I do. Fake it until you make it.
I've got the legit smarts. You have a good memory.
Oh, I have the legit smarts. You have a good memory. No, sir. I am an entertainer. You are you.
That's it?
Well, that's not it and everything, but just, let me just tell you, if you can't dazzle them with brilliance, then baffle them with bullshit.
Well, that is true.
Of course it's true.
I've heard that from several notable people.
Well, now you just heard it from another notable person.
Interesting.
Damn right it's interesting. Damn right it's interesting. But 2020 finally coming to a very happy and highly anticipated close.
But I mean, is it really going to be any better next year by the way it's looking? Let's be honest.
Oh, come on. Stop being you're being a pessimist, man.
No, I'm not.
I'm going to tell you, it's half empty. I truly believe the vaccination is going to get shit under control. Of course, everybody's going to be out there saying, oh, I'm not going to take it. It causes Bell's palsy. The government will be able to track you, blah, 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 and everything. Bitch, the government can already track no matter what you're doing. It's called your fucking cell phone that you fucking got your tongue up its ass. Trust me, the government knows where you are at all times now more than ever. A fucking vaccine isn't going to change anything like that other than give you a safety barrier to something that we have got to live with for the time being until it dies off. And that's what vaccines do. Vaccines provide a degree of immunity, so therefore a virus can die off. And that's what's eventually it's worse than anything. It's definitely, as of right now, the worst outbreak of the 21st century, 100%. That goes without saying. But once it gets under control and people are taking the vaccine as they should, we'll be able to kill it off. It'll be a thing of the past. It'll go away. And even if it doesn't go away right away, it's just another vaccine that we're going to have to live with for the next couple of years. I don't have a problem with that as long as I can get back to working with the promotions that I dearly love and I get back to traveling. Dude, I'll line up. I've seen people who have already taken it. In fact, I remember watching the CNN broadcast of the first person in the UK who took it. It was an old man. I think it was like 93 years old. He had just taken. He's like, I'm fine. No problem here. He's like, when I found out that there was a vaccine, I went and got it. You know, he's not being one of these conspiracy theorists, one of these, atypical paranoid fucking Americans saying, oh, this is going to happen. Oh, that's going to happen. Oh, this is going to happen. People said the same shit when the flu vaccine came out. I'm sure that there were still the very select few that were saying, I'm going to be an individual and I'm not going to take the vaccine. Well, fine. Then you'll get the fucking flu and you'll get fucking sick. I mean, yes, a vaccine is good, but it's also not also the best idea. It's an interesting sword, Josh. And the sword is that you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Because taking a vaccine is good for a countermeasure in order to kill off a virus and stop it from spreading. However, it's also good not to coddle your immune system. It's also good to get sick because then you can let your immune system work for you, what it's supposed to do and such. So, but you don't purposely expose yourself to like the worst shit possible. But at the same point, like I said, it's an interesting duality that happens when you're talking about that. When you're talking about a vaccine or you're talking about a person's ability to measure their immune system. Plus also, we've said this before on a previous episode. Genes have a lot. Your genetics have a lot to do with how you go through a pandemic. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you're worth $1 billion, and everything like that. I know plenty of rich people who have died because of this. I know plenty of fucking millionaires, billionaires that have fucking died because of COVID because their immune systems and their overall genes are shit. No, honestly, I think if you're looking for happiness, man, it's all on the cards that you were dealt when it comes to your family genealogy. I think that's really important. And unfortunately, it's also kind of filtered out those who, don't have, the good genes or the good immune systems or the good respiratory situations. And it's a shame. It's a shame. We've lost almost, it's going to easily, it's over 1 million people now, right?
In the U.S. or like in the world?
No, in the world.
As far as you're talking about deaths or just infected deaths?
No. Infected. It's the millions upon millions upon millions. In fact, I think we've already passed 10 million in the U.S., haven't we? I don't pay attention to the tracker anymore.
1.63 million deaths worldwide.
Whew. That's a lot.
But it's one of those things too, man, where like you see that, but okay, let's look up
16.6 million just in the United States alone. But then again, a lot of those, we've talked about this again, Josh, not at great length, but we have talked about it, that a lot of these cases are also sprouting up from people who are getting tested. More people are getting tested, so it is what it is. Now, the vaccines, the good thing is that they're rolling out. The first wave, of course, are going to healthcare professionals and the elderly, and first responders. It's going out to where it needs to go out to for the first time. And then I think it's going to be probably around January, February, where you're going to start to see the second round come out to people who may not need it, but definitely want to have it so that, life can get back to some degree of normalcy. Maybe not the normalcy that we remember, because I'm still going to be wearing my mask for some time and such and everything. And there are people who don't believe in the mask, but I'm going to tell you, I haven't
I'll
gotten it
say
yet.
this. I'll say this, and it's a personal choice.
Okay.
I'm not saying that I would never get this COVID vaccine, but I tell you what I'm not doing. I'm damn sure not getting this first batch or second batch.
Oh no, maybe the second batch for me,
That's
but not
happening.
the first wave. The first wave, I am going to sit back and watch the first. I don't even know if you're going to be able to have access to the first batch. I don't even know. I don't think you're going to have access to the
Probably
first batch.
Not.
You may not.
Average Joe probably won't see anything until next summer.
No. Yeah. You also have to remember, with the way that the healthcare system is around the world, it's going to be a little bit different how it's distributed in America as it is in other countries.
What did they say in the first within 100 days of Biden being in office? He said he wanted to have, like, what was the magic number? It was like 80% of the country, 80% of the country or something with the shot in order
that's wishful thinking.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying, like, that's his. He's saying, and he wants to make it so he wants to have it connected to the next rollout of the next rollout of stimulus checks, where you have to have the shot.
Oh yeah. If you want to get the second round of that, then you have to get that. Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't care. I don't care. As long as people stop dying and shit get back to some degree of normalcy, that's all I care about. I don't have any political views. I don't have any really personal views about it and such. It's a vaccine. Vaccines are put in place to stop shit. Now, you want to go ahead and think about if you want to start thinking about anything else, do you believe it's truly safe? Matt, I don't believe anything is truly safe, bro. You could fall off your fucking ladder the next day. You could drown in your goddamn swimming pool, and here we are bitching and complaining about a fucking shot.
Well, I'll say this:
you have a more likely chance to die in a car accident today than you do of having any long-term damage from a fucking vaccine.
I think what he's saying. I understand what he's saying. I agree. I don't think it's, it hasn't been tested, which is why I would never take like I said. And that's if I take it. I'll be completely.
Well, it is
honest.
Unbelievable revenue. It is.
I'm not a big.
But was any vaccine safe when it first ran out? And you also have to remember, the only issue that I have, which is probably the same issue that you have, the only issue that I would have if I'm thinking about the first run of this vaccine is that how long it actually took for this vaccine to come to fruition. It's the fastest that we've ever had a vaccine.
320 days or something like that.
Not even a year. And if you look at the grand scheme of things as far as vaccine trials and how long it takes for a vaccine to go from stage 1 to stage 2. Exactly.
Is the typical.
Exactly. But we haven't been having cases like this come up, and we haven't had people dropping dead like this in quite some time overall in less than 1 year's time. Not like, have there been more deaths? Yes, but in this quick amount of time, no. So I understand the need for it, and I do understand, but I also understand that something may get lost in translation when it comes to the vaccine overall, but you're going to have people who are going to say, I want shit. You're divided on this. You're going to have people that want to take the vaccine because they don't give a shit and they want shit to get back to normal. And then you got the other half that look at it and they're saying, I want to look at the science of this. I want to see the distribution, the development. I want to look at all the ducks in a row before I choose to say, I'm going to get the shot.
Let me just pause that real quick because I find that interesting, and the part about the science of it, right? And here's where, again, you have all these rifts, and like you said, people are divided on this issue. Now, in all reality, a vaccine should not be a political issue. A disease should not be a political issue. A virus should not be a political issue, but it is. Here we are.
Well, it is. It is because of its distribution and the it is.
So and here's
another
political
issue when it shuts shit down. Fuck yeah, it's a political issue.
Sure. And like here's another divide in it, right? And a lot of these people, because it does seem to be people on the left-hand side of things, and again, it's just the way it is. People on the left-hand side of things always talk about, science.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have a fuck ton of scientists saying, yeah, I don't think we should take this yet. Like, this isn't, like you said, it's not tested. This isn't thoroughly tested. We don't know all the side effects. But so it doesn't make sense because people on the left talk about science. Well, science says this is okay to take, like the lady that took it. Matter of fact, the first lady that took it in America, she had this little speech saying, I trust science and all this.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not entirely true because you have scientists talking about how safe, unsafe it probably isn't. Like, it's not very safe. Because we don't know yet, because it hasn't been scientific.
Well, you can't say that it's not safe because you don't know. We don't know if it's safe. Or not.
Right, correct. So I'm not saying, yeah, okay. So let me say that correctly. I'm not saying necessarily that it's unsafe. I'm saying that we don't know either way yet because we don't have enough information.
No,
that's
we don't.
What I'm saying.
You're right.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's gonna give everybody, cancer and Bell's palsy.
I mean, come on.
That's not what I'm saying.
Do you really think that this is going to turn out like the movie I Am Legend? Come on.
No, I don't think so, man. But I am a little. There is a slight concern. I mean, I don't want. My God, I don't want anybody to get sick off of this shit. I don't want anybody to end up worse. Taking the damn.
No, I agree. And nobody wants to be worse anyway. But there's no worse than dead. I'm sorry, there's no worse than dead.
I don't know if you're like fucked up. If you take this shit and get like Bell's palsy and half of your fucking face is off, like
yes, but let's say at worst comes to worst of that, there's no guarantee that Bell's palsy hangs around forever either. Most Bell's palsy's victims actually regain muscle control on their side of the face. I mean, not everybody unfortunately has the bout like Jim Ross did.
Yeah, he had like 2 or 3 times.
Well, he had it recurrence to the point to where like half of his friggin' side of his face is paralyzed.
I remember,
like, There's a ring announcer in Houston. His name is Jeremiah Gallegos. He's the ring announcer for Golden Boy. He does the Golden Boy promotion shows. He actually got Bell's palsy not too long ago, and he's already recovered from it.
Good.
So he did have it, and it looked like it was pretty hard, but he has recovered from it and regained all control of his facial muscles since and such. So it's not something that you can be afflicted with and it'll fuck you up for life. And
I get that. I get that.
I mean, it's not a guarantee. And once again, we're talking about a select few out of that. But I know some people are like, oh, well, if you had a bag of Skittles and 4 Skittles in it were deadly poison, would you eat the bag of Skittles?
I mean, that's not necessarily a bad. I mean, okay. No, I understand what you're saying. There is a point to where that other side can make it ridiculous too. I get that, right?
A little too ridiculous.
Okay, I get that, but still, let's just say
they focus on the narrative, and that's the problem.
Hold on, but let's just say, Jeff. Let's just say 2 out of every 100,000 people got Bell's palsy.
Mm-hmm.
Is that enough to go, well, that's the sacrifice? Like, is that okay? Is that like, is that an okay number? If it cures COVID, but say like a very, very, very small percentage of people get Bell's palsy, they die, let's just say something real bad.
Die from Bell's palsy.
No, that's not what I mean. I mean, like from the vaccine itself. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing shit out there.
I don't see why the side effects would prove fatal from a vaccine. I really don't.
We're playing hypothetical, Jeff. Just hypothetical.
Extremely hypothetical. Okay. See, the problem with that is that I understand what you're saying, but you're also looking at it from the perspective, I guess, even that the media would want you to do. It's called controlling the narrative by only using selective facts. And the problem with it is when you're talking billions and billions of people.
Unfortunately, we have to use selective facts because we don't actually know.
Well, that's exactly
Because
right.
it's only been 320 some
That's
days.
exactly right. So talk to
You know?
me. Talk to me after 6 months of the vaccine being made available to the public.
I agree.
That's the thing. You
Fair
can't.
enough.
I can't give you. I can't give you an answer based on this being just released, and 4 people out of everyone who has taken it has developed some kind of Bell's palsy, and it wasn't even guaranteed that the vaccine caused it. That's not even there. So talk to me in 6 months after wide distribution of the vaccine and enough people have had it, and then you can go ahead and have any kind of medical comparative basis. And then we can talk about it. As of right now, I don't know. It's unprecedented. It's an unprecedented situation. And we've never turned out. We can't compare this vaccine to any other vaccine before it because we've never released one this fast. So you can't compare it to anything because there is no vaccine that has been developed this fast for the greater good of, killing a virus. So that's why I can't give you an answer that could be comparative to any kind of vaccine that was developed before it. So the best thing that I could say, I'll talk to you about it in 6 months after wide distribution, and then we'll see what the effects are on the masses. It's the best thing I can tell you.
Genetically changes you. Yeah. Okay. So because it's an mRNA, right? Is the vaccine. Now here's the part this isn't like crazy kooky right-wing conspiracy. Mm-hmm. It's an mRNA vaccine. That's what the basis of the vaccine is, right? An mRNA, the way the delivery system is, it actually goes in and like changes your fucking enzymes. Like it changes your enzymes, and which you could theoretically say changes DNA. Now that's not exactly true. People say that, but it's not exactly true. But it does. It changes shit in your body. It doesn't just like. It's not just an anti something. It actually fucks with shit in your body and changes things. Like you will not be the same. Your body won't be the same after taking it. That's a fact.
No, it's not.
No, that part. Yes, it is. No, that part's a fact. It's mRNA. Yeah. That part is. Yes, it is. mRNA, an mRNA vaccine.
Here, listen to this. Myth. COVID vaccines will alter my DNA. Fact. No, listen. The first COVID-19 vaccines to reach the market are likely to be messenger RNA or mRNA vaccines. Correct. Messenger RNA vaccines work by instructing cells in the body how to make a protein that triggers an immune response, according to the CDC.
It changes the goddamn cells. There it is right there.
Listen to me. Injecting messenger RNA. I'm trying to. Can I finish fucking read this? Injecting messenger RNA into your body will not interact or do anything to the DNA of your cells. Human cells break down and get rid of the messenger RNA soon after they have finished using the instructions.
Like I said, the whole DNA thing, I said that was.
But it does not. It even says right there, doesn't interact or do anything to your cells.
Reprograms your cells. You said it yourself.
Yeah, and then it says it shits them out after them. It gets rid of them after they have finished using the instructions. It only changes it. It only changes something for the time being in order to do its job. And then it's almost like it's shit out. It's like passed out.
You want to take something that changes your cells.
Not for permanent. Enough to get the job done. Hey, let it work. Let it work. I don't know shit. And you know what? Most people don't know either. Okay, what we have right there is somebody saying that there's a messenger RNA that is delivered to your cells. It doesn't change them for the permanent. It doesn't change them permanently. It does what it's supposed to do, and then it leaves. For all we know, I'm going to tell you something. Similar vaccines have probably done the same thing. So it doesn't necessarily stay with your DNA or alter the way that your DNA chains are made up.
I mean, I understand. Like, I understand there's a lot of unknowns.
There's too many of them.
I get that.
Especially at this stage. Like I said, once again, unprecedented. So we don't know a lot. And a lot of people are going to just sit back, look from afar and say, okay, let's see what round 1 and round 2 looks like.
Let me ask you this, Jeff. And I know I'm not asking you as an expert because I know you're not an expert. I get that.
Nobody's a fucking expert.
I understand. But like, let's put this out there. Here's the problem that I have is that it's just like anything else in the, if you want to call it the political arena or anything in that realm, and this falls into that realm, unfortunately, is you have experts on one side of an argument, and then you have experts on another side of the argument. Who the fuck is the right one? Because like I said, there are plenty of scientists that say, don't take this shit. It fucks you up. And then you have scientists that say, no, that's a myth.
It's a matter of choice. It's a matter of choice is what it is.
Well, but here's what I'm saying. So like the stuff that I get it, like you go on the CDC and you read this stuff and it leans the one way. But like I said, can you discount or discredit the scientists who say the other way? You know what I mean? Like, why do people automatically go one way?
I agree with Matt. I agree with Matt was saying, if you're not in the inner circle, you won't know too much of what it is or what it does.
Of course. Yeah, of course. I agree with that. Yeah, of course.
Anytime that you're, on the outside looking in, the only perspective that you're going to have is what you read, what you watch, what you hear. You're being spoon-fed. That's why I can't stand experts in this field or quote unquote experts on this field that are on the outside looking in, because they're in the same perspective that we are. They just may be slightly more researched than we are.
And it's just like what I was saying. And I was, it was a joke before, but it really is the truth. Like I said, there is a difference between smart people and people who remember shit. Like you said, a lot of these experts.
Yeah, apparently I'm not smart. I just remember shit. Fuck you, man.
But seriously, you have a lot of these experts who can go on and read the same articles that you can or I can. And I can come off like a fucking expert too, because I remembered what some article said from the New York Times. Does that make me a fucking expert? No. That means I might have a good memory. That doesn't make me a fucking expert.
Like I said, man, I've said it before. Be careful when you follow the masses. The M is usually silent.
100%. I agree. Yeah.
If people will follow Heaven's Gate, then they'll follow anything, man. So as far as I'm concerned, the overall faith in people when it comes to something like this, everybody else is being spoon-fed the same information. So I'm not going to pay attention to what somebody says who's not on the inside. I mean, maybe on the inside, and even if somebody is on the inside, do you think that they're going to give, factual knowledge about what's truly happening? Of course not. That information is going to be made public.
That's what I'm saying, which is fucked up because you can't even trust.
No, but it's been that way. It's been that way for as long, dude. It's been that way before we were born. Even way before we were born. The top 1%, the government, they control the release of information, and they are very good at making sure what the public knows. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's just common fucking sense. That's common fucking sense. Mandatory. I don't know. When you start saying that there's going to be a punishment for something is when you really start fucking around with people. Because if we're talking about a vaccine and we're talking about Americans, then in the end, do I believe it should be mandatory? No. I believe that you should have the right to determine what you put in your body. If you don't want to have a vaccine, then don't have a vaccine. If you don't want to get the flu vaccine, then don't get the flu vaccine. I do not believe it should be mandatory. I believe Americans should have the choice whether or not to take the vaccine or not take it.
I will say this, and I don't know about when he says punishment, I mean, it's not. I don't know if that's too far off because there have been a lot of people, especially on again, I hate to make it political, but it's just the way it is. You have a lot of people on the left who are pushing for not like jail time punishment, but
there's a lot of people who don't need to take the vaccine.
Hold on. I understand. But what I'm saying is they're talking about Ticketmaster. Here's a good example. Ticketmaster talked about implementing something to where when you get the vaccine, you're going to get some type of code or registry, some type of something that you can prove I took this vaccine, right?
Yeah.
So in order for Ticketmaster to sell you a ticket to a concert, you have to go, well, I can go to this concert because I'm COVID free and I've gotten this vaccine. And they won't let you buy a ticket.
Yeah, but that's different when you're talking about the gathering of the masses, though.
Right, but what I'm saying, it is kind of a form of punishment, saying like, well,
but
you
at the
didn't
same
get this
point,
vaccine. It looks like you can't come in the grocery store.
No.
Well,
They're not
sorry.
talking. They're not talking about the grocery store. They're
I
talking about.
know they're not, but I'm saying,
But you
like,
know what?
how many steps away is that?
Well,
If they're gonna do that,
no,
for
I don't.
like
I don't
mass
think it's.
gatherings.
I don't think it's going to go there. But I think that, like, for example, I think that universities are going to have it mandatory. Boarding schools, they're going to have it mandatory. Large gatherings and such. At the beginning, yes, it's going to be absolutely necessary because all of that has been, the kibosh has been put on it because of COVID. And now we've got all these people getting back there, and the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And that's just the way that it is in those situations. And if you're talking about mass gatherings once again in these forums, and these are private forums, which
Understood.
these are private forums
I do understand
that they can absolutely choose to do this if they want to. It's not anti-American. They have the right to do so.
I totally understand that. My situation is that's
the idea of a punishment, or the idea of
no. It's just that if that can happen, how far away? If that is the first step, if that's A, and let's just say Z is.
Why are we looking to Z when we're not, dude? We're not even.
I realize that
you're looking way too far ahead at this, bro, man. We're not even at A yet. A's just about to fucking begin. I can't look that far ahead when A hasn't even transpired yet. That's the same thing. You could say the same thing. Oh, well, now we've got AI. Well, it's only a matter of time before the Terminator movie happens.
Well, I don't know about that. That's a little different.
No. Dude, it's looking too far ahead instead of focusing on what is right now. There's no point in looking at Z when we're not even at fucking A yet. A is just beginning. Now, if it gets to that sucks. But I don't think that we should be looking that far ahead as of yet. I think that we need to take this stride by stride, day by day, month by month, as it comes, instead of looking that far ahead in the future and getting paranoid about, well, what happens? What if they decide to do this, or what happens? We're not there yet.
I don't think it's a paranoia. It's more of a my worry. If I'm paranoid about anything, is more government dependency, right? It's more maybe I'm even not bringing up the best examples for this, but my fear is this is one step closer to government dependency, which is something I am highly against. We're
not there yet, so we should.
But we're not far either. We're not. We're not there, but we're not far either, man.
The only reason that it seems that way is because, once again, we're in an unprecedented situation to where the government has a little bit more control than it normally does, and we're not used to it. It's not the first time that this has happened, and it won't be the last time. The last time that we had something like this. I was reading that. I agree. Seriously. So, and your child does, and then you has a violent reaction and injury occurs and such. Matt, it's not there. This is life. There are no guarantees. There are no.
You should be able to guarantee a vaccine. Like you should at least be able to.
No, because they're made by humans. They're made by humans, and humans are fallible. We are. Even a vaccine can take a left turn. There are no guarantees. You just have to go. Honestly, this is a matter of choice as an American. So, if you want to take it, fine. If not, know that there are going to be limitations on your life because of the way that this is going forward, that the government could limit on where you go, what you do. And that sucks. But what are you going to do about it? There's nothing that you can do about it in the long run unless this entire country decides to revolt. And guess what? That's not going to happen.
It might.
Not where the whole fucking country does.
Or at least half the country. I think half the country might.
It's going to have to really be imposed on you to the point, not just, the government is really going to have to do something to really piss people off. And people are saying, something, I'd rather die than take that. So let's fight back and such. There's always the possibility of an uprising. I just don't think it's going to happen.
I don't know, man. I think,
and I also think an uprising in the country to where a military spends a regular 25 to 26 billion dollars a year, sometimes more, in defense. I think that's just fucking ignorant and stupid. There's no.
I don't think we're as far off as you think, man. I think that because of the politics has almost become people's religion, right? Especially
almost. Are you kidding? It is,
right. Especially within the last, within the last 2, 3, 4 years, ever since Trump. It's no longer politics. Is no longer
It's a church.
Like, you remember, hell, man, and I don't know, like, even 15, 20 years ago, politics wasn't something that, like, my family or a lot of families I knew, it wasn't something you just openly talked about. It was kind of like there was things that you just didn't really talk about. One of them was politics. One of them was how much money you got in the bank. You don't really talk about that.
No, I think that started. I think honestly, when the regular U.S. citizen really started getting involved politically wise, I'm going to tell you, I really think that started around Watergate.
Sure. Yeah.
I'd probably say about that, because that was a scandal that was really blown up by the media.
Well, it was the first time where something was just out in the open and there was nothing they could do to hide it. Like, there was nothing. It was out there.
As many spins as they wanted to put on it, the fact is that there was no back door.
Right.
There was no back door for the president for the first time ever. Where, where the president had to say, something, I'm caught. I'm going to have to, I made my bed. I'm going to have to lie in it, and I'm going to have to leave.
Yeah.
And I think that's when people really started getting involved more on a personal level. On a personal level. And also, of course, with the assassination of JFK and such. And, there are so many different, happenings throughout the 20th century that really started getting people involved much more so than just getting up, every couple of years and going to their local ballot and voting. Now it's so much more. It's so much more. People are now defined by who they vote for and who they represent. And I think that's the saddest thing that I've ever heard. Your entire life,
I agree.
Or you feel that your life is dependent and matters on who is in the White House. That is that's the saddest thing that I've ever fucking heard. Now,
I agree.
Now, if you're on the political side and that's your job, that's different. That's different. If you are professionally involved in that arena, that's completely different. But if you're not, if you're the everyday average Joe who goes to work, goes home, kisses your wife, kisses your kids, goes to work the next day and such, and has absolutely no political affiliations whatsoever, but you believe that whoever runs this country is your deity, so to speak, man, that is
sad.
That's sad is what it is.
It's a sad affair.
It's an incredibly sad affair. Now, if you're happy with who's in the White House, good for you. If you're not happy for who's in the White House, there's that too, But unfortunately, this is all above our pay grade as Americans. Unfortunately, that's just the way that it is.
Yeah, I think there's a fine line. Like you said, the whole phrase, ignorance is bliss, and I know there's a fine line of, yeah, I get it. It doesn't matter who's in the office. There's things that are going to happen that are just going to happen because, way more powerful people than us are going to make them happen, and there's nothing that we can do.
Well,
and I understand that, but like at the same time, like you said, you can either go about your life and just go about your day, not talk about it, not think about it, and go
look at the political arena
vaccine,
like
I'll take it. Sure,
look at the
vaccine.
Look at the political arena as a cardiogram. Ups and downs, EKG, ups and downs. That's exactly what it's going to be. Americans are looking for this constant up. It doesn't work that way.
I agree. It doesn't exist. I get that.
There is no such thing. And everybody's looking for,
I get that.
The perfect candidate with all these, ideal morals. Let me tell you something, people. For people who are involved in DC at that level, those morals are ridiculously stretched. The shit that goes on. Seriously, man, this is Washington, D.C. I'm going to tell you something. Puritans in public, perverts in private. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. You keep looking for this squeaky clean person to take over the White House. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. People at that level. I'm going to tell you something, Josh. No matter what there is, pro wrestling, pro boxing, MMA, all these cutthroat industries, nothing is more cutthroat than the political arena.
Yeah.
Nothing.
100%.
Nothing. So all of that squeaky clean shit that you're looking for, that you're hoping for, this fucking 1950s, Dennis the Menace, fucking, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, waspy, America that you're looking for, that you remember growing up with in black and white TVs and shit. It's not here. That doesn't exist anymore. I'm going to tell you something.
It didn't really exist then. They just did a better job.
No. It never did exist. It was always a veil. It was always smoke and mirrors and such. I'm going to tell you, do you know what America has become? America has become one of my favorite sayings from a very, very awesome football legend by the name of Al Bundy. And that saying was, it's only cheating if you get caught.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's America. That's America now.
You know what? And I think that's why so many people, man, and I won't go on a long rant here because it's just not worth it. And you've probably heard it 1,000 times before, but I think that's why a lot of people kind of appreciated and liked Trump, because he was a little outside the box and he wasn't afraid to show, or didn't care to show if he showed that he was imperfect. Right. Whereas say like you have people like Biden, like, fuck it, man. If I was Biden, he's still trying to put up that veil of, I'm an upstanding middle of the road Democrat and I don't want socialism and I don't want this, but I also stand for this.
Trust me. He's been around his share of horrors himself. Trust me. Come on now.
Exactly. Fuck it, man. Just talk about it.
At that fucking level. I kind of look at the president like the same way that you kind of look at a pastor. Would you really want to follow a pastor with a squeaky clean background, or would you like to follow a pastor who basically went through hell on earth and kind of turned his life around and such? Honestly, yeah, exactly. I'd rather have someone who's put through the fucking ringer. I understand where you're coming from, Matt. I'm not an elite. I'm elite in my profession. Outside of that, I'm not elite in shit. Okay. God. I am as simple brass tacks American as it comes. Okay. My profession, I'm an elite, but that's the only way that I see myself as an American. I'm no better. I'm no worse than anybody else. I'm just trying to have my slice of pie and not rock the boat myself. I totally agree with that. I don't have an agenda. Life's too short for me to have an agenda because I'm not part of that 1%. The 1% has an agenda. Okay. And that's just the way that it is. But I don't have that agenda. All I want is my slice. And if my slice of pie can be bigger, more power to me, more power to anybody else who can make their slice of pie and get the whole fucking pie instead of a slice. I love that.
I want the whole damn thing myself.
Well, everybody does. America is the land of excess. We don't want just one. We want it all.
Why have a piece if you can have the whole thing?
Yeah. I know. I get it. All right, Josh, I'm getting a headache, so, I think it's about time to go ahead, and I think the headaches are from these fucking glasses, but, oof.
Oh, God, put it back on. Jesus.
Man, oh, come on now. I am so goddamn handsome, man. Jesus Christ. In fact, I think I think I went from 720 to 1080 just by taking this off. God, the resolution of my camera just got better.
I know. I think the screen cracked, the lens cracked. That's what happened.
Not at all. In fact, I was going to wipe off the lens a second ago, but it looks like now I don't have to.
Jesus.
Sweet. Oh no, Josh, this was fun. I'm so glad to be back on track with Loudmouth Fisticuffs. A very odd, a very interesting, going all over the fucking place, having all kinds of fun. You with your fucking maw of hell background. Seriously, it looks like you just came out of Satan's butt.
I had to sell all my shit. I told you I got paid $100. The Fighting News, Steve Rothman. By the way, Steve, I'll send you my PayPal. I know you're watching.
That's funny. That's funny. But guys, seriously, thank you so much for those of you who did tune in. You know, I know a lot of you haven't known that that we have been taking some time off, but we're back in the saddle. We're ready to rock. We're gonna have one coming for you next week, Christmas week. Right before the holiday season, and then of course we'll have one to you right before New Year's, and then we're back in the saddle. I got some time off in January. I'm looking forward to that. Not a whole lot happened in January. Then February is going to start hitting pretty damn hard. Of course, we're starting things off with BKFC 16, Tampa, Florida, February 5th. That's going to be a lot of fun, and I'll be back in the saddle with ACA. Hopefully, Road FC. It's funny. I haven't done a Road FC show. As of yesterday, it's been 1 year since I've done. I've never been away from Road FC that long. So I want to give a shout out to the folks with Road FC. Right now, they're doing studio shows, and they're trying to combat COVID-19 the best that they can over there in South Korea. They're doing a fantastic job, So I just can't wait to get back, and doing what I love with Road FC with all of my good people over there in South Korea. So it's only a matter of time, guys. We're going to beat this, and we're going to be stronger than ever, and people are going to be so happy to come back to arenas, start filling those arenas, and get back to live sports the way like it was.
100%, man.
Take us home. All
right, let's take us home. Guys, please smash that like button, smash the share button if you liked it. This was Loudmouth Fisticuffs. That is my man over there, Mr. Loudmouth Jeff Houston.
Okay.
I am Joshua Furs. We appreciate you so much, just like Mr. Jeff said. Obviously, first episode back, working out some kinks, but it's all good. We'll be here next week. We'll be here the week after that. We're gonna have some fun. We'll plan out some fun stuff maybe next week and the week after. We'll get some good stuff going. Maybe bring in a guest or two or something like that. We'll have a little fun in here. So,
hey, if you don't, you know what they say. If you don't stay relevant, you don't stay.
I'm just saying. So this was episode 36, and that's all we got. Deuces.